Hi, my name is Mimi Samsonov and you're watching One Mom's Perspective on how my daughter learned to spell her first name. My daughter's name is Alice. I call her Allie. She is 4 years old and was born with trisomy 21, also known as Down syndrome.
A is for apple. Good girl. Yeah, A is for Allie. Good girl.
Through play, creativity, singing, labeling, reading, repetition, routine, and so on, Allie has learned to recognize all 26 letter names and letter sounds by age 4. Get something else. What is that?
Yucky.
That's right. Can you find letter D? Good job. You can watch my video on how my daughter learned to recognize letter names and sounds for more details. That's right, Alice. Okay, say I spell A-L-I-C-E. Alice was the first word my daughter learned to spell. She did not know how to spell or read other words yet. The reason Allie learned to spell her first name was because Alice was written on her schoolwork, personal items, and even cubby. Say A, A, That's right, Alice.
Alice.
That's my name.
That's my name.
I did not anticipate to teach Allie to recognize her first name before preschool, so she learned it while attending preschool. Since Allie was familiar with the alphabet letters and Alice as her first name, it was a matter of showing her how to arrange A-L-I-C-E in that order. But first, I needed to explain why her name is Alice and I call her Allie. This was tricky. Allie has been assessed as delayed in receptive language and conceptual skills, so explaining that Allie was her nickname and Alice as her official name was a difficult concept for my daughter to grasp. It did not seem to work. Fortunately, I was able to figure out how to separate and compare Allie to Alice. First, I explained that Allie is short for Alice, such as mom is short for mommy. My daughter understood the concept of short versus long, so she was able to absorb the analogy. Secondly, Allie activities would involve letter sounds, whereas Alice activities would involve letter names. Allie activities are few, just enough for my daughter to be able to recognize Allie when she sees it. When asked for her name, however, my daughter would respond with Alice. How old are you?
Alice.
Yeah, how old are you?
4.
That's right. Since my daughter was comfortable with how Allie and Alice refers to her, we did a ton of Alice activities. After each activity, my daughter would spell A-L-I-C-E and say, "That's my name." Being delayed in receptive language, Allie would often repeat what I say and learn via rote learning or by memory. For Allie to learn that Alice is her name, I had to say, "That's my name." So my daughter would repeat and learn to say, "Alice, that's my name." If I had said, "Alice, that's your name," instead, my daughter would not be able to conceptualize that Alice is her name. A-L-L-I-C-E. I took the opportunity for my daughter to develop other skills while she would be learning to spell her first name in these Alice activities. After all, just spelling Alice over and over again would just be boring.
C the car.
Yes, C for car and
E
for
Alice.
This one improved on her low muscle tone. The blowing actually was more difficult than the stacking. Then L, then I, then C, then E.
I want to blow.
Go ahead, blow it. gonna have to blow harder, huh? Look, honey, look at that. Oh, you did it!
Hey. L.
This one provided Allie with some sensory input.
What letter is this? C, that's right. And what letter is this?
Activities with her first name in it was also a good basis for her to maintain focus and have patience, especially if she had lost interest in that activity, because she knew that once ALICE was done, the activity would be over. The goal of these Alice activities was for my daughter to see Alice and to say ALICE, even if she did not want to perform the activity.
Do you want the L?
I don't know.
How about I? You want the I?
I don't want that.
How about C? Do you want the
I
left?
don't want to see.
How about E? Do you want E?
I don't want to.
Whenever possible, Allie would be part of the creative process. That is, she would help me set up the activity prior to playing the activity. Participation in the creative process is a highly conducive way to engage participants.
Put on the bottle.
This activity helps develop Allie's fine motor skills with twisting. She began to be able to twist enough to open and close some bottles, jars, and toys at age 4.
We'll do a letter each day, okay? Well, you get to choose.
Nighttime was no exception to fun play while learning how to spell Alice.
A-L-I-C.
Say nurse says.
Alice.
Click like for this video if you like how I'm sharing my perspective on how my daughter learned to spell her first name. Subscribe to my channel, One Mom's Perspective, if you can tune into how I teach my daughter other topics such as counting and the clock. Feel free to leave your comments, share this video with family and friends, even make a request. Just be kind and enjoy the rest of your day.
Alice is
My name.
Thanks for watching.